Good morning. It is day 17 and I am officially in BC. I'm in Golden and camped here last night. You probably just saw the fire from last night. I didn't feel like recording or anything like that, but I'm kind of right on the edge of a big canyon, and way off in the distance here you can see the mountains. And you might not believe this, but I actually woke up to the sound of thunder this morning. Got a little bit of rain earlier on in the morning, and it's starting to clear up again now. So my tent took a little bit longer than usual to dry out last night, or this morning I mean. And so the plan for today is to head to Rogers Pass, which is not too far from here. I guess that's right in the middle of Glacier National Park, and from there we'll be heading on to Revelstoke, and then we're going to be taking a left turn heading south to Nakusp, and we're going to check out those Nakusp hot springs that I was telling you about earlier on in Ontario. And if there's still time left in the day, we're going to head on to Hippie Central, which is Nelson, BC. I've heard it's a huge hippie hangout. It's a huge hippie town, so we're going to be taking that in either by the end of today or probably tomorrow, if I do end up camping in Nakusp. So that's what's coming up today. Hello, I'm in Revelstoke, BC right now, and I've got a frog in my throat, apparently. Revelstoke, BC, and I'm just here at the Railway Museum, and I guess they've got a whole setup of the railway history in Canada and that sort of thing inside. Can't guarantee anything in terms of being able to take photographs and videos inside there, but if we can, I will definitely let you follow along with the tour. So, Revelstoke is the spot right now, and after we're done here, we're going to head on to Nakusp and hopefully take a dip in the nice warm hot springs. The warm hot springs. And we have some good news. We are allowed to take pictures and videos inside the museum. So let's take a little tour. Boom! Railway Museum done. Onward to Nakusp. I've arrived in Shelter Bay, where we catch the ferry across Upper Arrow Lake, I believe it's called. It's about a 20-minute ferry ride, and we're going over to some other bay on the other side. It starts with a G anyway. And from there we follow the highway down to Nakusp. So in just a few minutes we're going to board the ferry. In Nakusp right now. We're way up in the mountains. We're right by the hot springs in Nakusp. They are right up there, and I thought before I set up for the night I'd give you a little tour of the homestead here, in case you guys were wondering. This is what I do to set up for the night. I take this blanket here, I fold it in half, and then it's hard to do this with one hand. I basically just roll up the blanket like this, like that, and that is my pillow. And then I've got the bedroll that I sleep on here. It's what, maybe half an inch thick. So I lay that out and then put the sleeping bag on top of that. And that's where I camp for the night, just like that. So in case you are interested in my my camping situation, where I crash for the night, that's it, plain and simple. And I got some firewood in the back of my truck, which I will be bringing out momentarily. Got my hatchet here, which is easily one of the best investments I've made on this trip so far. It's not only can it chop kindling and firewood, but if you turn it around, you've got a handy thing for knocking in the tent pegs, which can be a little bit tricky at times if you're camping on rock or something like that, or just really hard ground. So it comes in handy, and it's been a very good investment. Anyway, I think I will save the Nakusp hot springs for the morning. Because I kind of want to get a fire going before it gets dark here. You can't really tell by this video because it's a little bit deceiving on video. It's actually much darker than it looks at the moment. Right now it looks like it's about midday, but actually the sun is just about to go down. So the Nakusp hot springs will wait for the morning, and then we'll be on to Nelson, BC, where we're gonna get all hippied out, because it's hippie central apparently, and I hope it lives up to that reputation. So until tomorrow, this has been the end of day 17. Still at Nakusp hot springs. Just sort of packed up my camping gear, and I'm just about to head up the trail there to the hot springs. And I was up there just a few minutes ago asking the lady where the hot springs were, and she directed me to the pool just behind her. It's actually a swimming pool, and I was kind of hoping for a natural hot spring area, you know, deep in the woods somewhere. But in her words, they got to put the water somewhere, so we're going to take a dip into a hot pool, I guess. And then from there, we're going to be heading on to Nelson, as you know. I think I've said that probably 3 or 4 times already. And yeah, we're going to get all hippied up. We're going to break out the tie-dye once I get out of the pool there. The tie-dye shirt's going on. The Nakusp hot springs are the bee's knees. Basically, well, I didn't bring my camera in for obvious creeper reasons, and because you were supposed to leave valuables either in the locker or in your vehicle, so you couldn't bring stuff out to the pool side anyway. So I didn't get any footage of the actual hot springs, but I did take a dip, and the way it's set up is that it's a big circle. It's a big circular pool, and it's divided into two. About 1/3 is one section, and then the other 2/3 are like the big section. And so when I first got into the pool area there, I figured the 1/3 smaller section was kind of a like a shallower area for like kids or something like that. So I went into the 2/3 big area, and as soon as you get in, it's so warm and relaxing, and you know, all the rest of that sort of thing. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on driving right now. But anyway, I spent about 10 minutes in the 2/3 area, the big section, and then I heard some lady next to me talking to her son or her kid, and she said, well, look over to the other side, to the smaller section, and see who's in there. I guess it was his dad or something like that. And then she said, I don't think you could handle water that hot. And then that's when I kind of realized that the 1/3 section was like a hotter section of the hot springs. And so I got out and went into that section, and it was the most amazing thing ever. It was like sitting in a big giant bathtub, and it was the most relaxing thing that I've experienced on this trip, maybe so far. So the Nakusp Hot Springs, definitely a good site to check out if you're ever in the area, and you have to take a big long winding road up to get here, which I'm currently traveling right now. So if this seems a little bit rambly and stuttery, then it's just because I'm trying to focus on these winding curves on the road. So anyway, we're off to Nelson, BC. As you can see, I'm rocking the tie-dye shirt. So we're hippied up and we're heading into hippie central BC, Nelson, British Columbia.